close at half-time. What do you think happened in the second half that Townsville took control?
We couldn't get into our offence. It felt like we just couldn't find an avenue to basket. And when we did, we just couldn't put in the hoop either, which didn't help. And a lot of that's credit to Townsville. And then defensively, again, they started to get used to how we're trying to guard it and started to get some patterns. So when we changed, we got really lost with our schemes. And then they really punish you, like when you make some mistakes. And sometimes basketball just goes in the hoop as well. So I thought they got a lot of good quality shots against Sydney. The ball just didn't go in. Whereas tonight we'd kill a possession and they'd throw it up on the siren and it would go in. It's like, cool. Like I've got the Michaela Roof play out of bounds, like hitting fadeaway long twos against a shot clock splash. So again, credit to Townsville, but they made timely shots when it mattered.
And I haven't looked at the stats, but it felt like you were kept to lots of tough shots. How are you going to make it easier on Wednesday?
Yeah, good question. If there was a simple answer, we would have done it already. Obviously, we're still trying to find our identity now. So we've also got some personnel issues, but we just need to adjust to how we're going to play. And clearly, we've seen that Townsville are going to get up and after us. So we've got some things to fix, and also actually executing our stuff better. We don't need to completely reinvent the wheel, but we know teams are going to go after us in the short term, the next month or so. How we handle that pressure will tell.
Ryan, do you think it's good that you're actually going to play these guys again straight away in 3 days, or sort of prefer it? How do you sort of see it?
I see it's going to be bloody hot. So if I don't spend the next 3 days sweating, it's going to be really good. Generally in this situation, we had it against Melbourne earlier in the year, where we go to Melbourne and get a win. And then again, it's hard to not change the scheme too much. So generally, you would expect the team that wins to keep most of the stuff the same, whereas a team obviously that loses has got nothing to lose. You might as well just change everything. So we've got 3 days, I guess, of playing cat and mouse a little bit, if we can get out of this bloody humidity.
Annalie, I'm again going off feel rather than stats, but it felt like the game flowed a lot. There weren't many fouls called. Do you prefer it like that, or would you rather stop-start sort of game?
I prefer the game to flow, but I also think that protecting players on both sides is important. It's not about fouls called and fouls not called. It's just about playing the game and keeping everyone safe. So really, that's a hard question to answer. How do you answer that?
Without getting fined.
Yeah.
And how do you feel from a player's point of view that you can turn it around in 3 days?
Oh, I have complete faith in our group that we're capable of it. I think so. I think that, like what Ryan said, Townsville are a really talented group. And they're coached really well. They have a deep squad, but so do we. I think that we can do anything that we put our minds to, and we lacked effort in the fourth quarter. I thought that's what I felt. So I think that if we can just up our effort game, and sometimes it's not always about trying harder, but I definitely think that we have so much more to give in some areas. So yeah.
It was a huge effort the other night to come back down on troops, and then the trip to Townsville. Do you think maybe it all sort of caught up to you guys in the end there? Or?
Oh no, we were totally capable of winning that game. I don't think there's any excuse, or there's no travel or games played or whatever. A winnable game is a winnable game, and we can beat any team on any given night. So there's so many outside factors in every single whatever. It all comes down to winning a game of basketball, and that's on us. We lost that game of basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to be a no excuse program.
Yeah.
So we lost. History's written by the winner, not by the loser. We got beat.
Yeah.
We deserve to get beat. End of story.
Yeah.
And just run us through, I guess, what you guys do now. If you're not actually going to go home, you're going to stick around and get a few training sessions in?
I think tomorrow's a day off.
Yep.
Day after is a training session. Obviously back on playing. I don't know what day it is anymore. Is it Sunday today?
It's Sunday, so we play Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. So back on court. So day off, training. Obviously a bit of film, clean some things up, obviously, and come back and play Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is the plan, and again, try and stay out of this damn heat.
And Ryan, just on, obviously you know how good Sammy is, and there's probably, you think you sort of know a way to stop her, but when she's sort of rolling, it's pretty hard to stop her.
Yeah, she's tough, and a lot of the times, it's hard. You've got to pick your poison somewhere. We hold her. She gets to 26, but we make her take 22 shots, so we don't mind the efficiency from a defensive side of things. Or they score 87 on 68. So that's more of a concern. The 26 points on 22 shots we'll live with. But yeah, you're right. When she's on, she's world class for a reason, and she really torches in that second half.
You guard Goodchild had a pretty tough night shooting. What do you say to a player like that after that sort of thing?
We go again. Same thing we said to the team post game. You're never as bad as you think you are. You're never as good as you think you are. So we've had some outstanding wins this season. We've had some tough losses. Again, the reality is life is somewhere in the middle there. So she'll bounce back. She's fine. Obviously, she's the one right now who's got to have the biggest role adjustment as well. So she's learning how to play point guard on a plane in terms of our system. So she's got the biggest adjustment, and then she runs into Steph Reed and Sammy Whitcomb going full quad after her. So tough assignment. We love the kid. She'll be fine.